Hey, will you shut the fuck up? You only in fifth grade. You have 7 more years left. Hmm. Oh my goodness, this song, oh my goodness, this song has been played at every single graduation since I was young. Yes, I'm only 27, but whatever, okay? I graduated high school 10 years ago, all right? I can say that now. But yes, this song has been played at every single graduation since I was young. I mean, back in the days it used to be Pump and Circuses, but Elgar put that song, much like the education system, is out of touch, ancient, and representative of something that never ends. Learning. I mean, take it from me. I'm always learning something new, okay? Whether it's making new connections, making old correlations, or just changing in general to eventually, I guess, grow? I mean, that's how some people, that's how we're all supposed to do it, you know? You make correlations, you make connections, you make necessary changes if need be, and possibly you may, quote unquote, grow. I don't know. But to go a little further, or maybe a little deeper, you find out what your purpose is. Not just what you think you're supposed to do, but whatever deity and or belief system that you have thought that, you're supposed to be here to do. You find out what your purpose is. You take a step back, you reflect, you dive deep into your subconscious, you analyze it, you view it for whatever it is, and then you just take out your mind and you pour it out and you watch all your thoughts, your dreams, your fears, your problems, your goals, and anything else that you may have had up in there that you've been contemplating, wondering, dreaming, thinking about since the dawn of all time until this current moment in the present that you are now. And you see, what is true, what is false. Oh yeah, Tammy Roman, I think you said it best. Was it real or was it like some fraudulent bullshit? Thank you, Tammy Roman, for that. Period. I mean, I'm going a little deep, but it's a different kind of knowledge, okay? And there are all types of knowledges out here, okay? And education is only one part of it. A small part, but we're not going to get into that. But to speak broadly or to speak, in general, the education system, my goodness, what a part it has played in the shaping, the molding, and in some cases now, the quote unquote indoctrination of quote unquote young minds. And honey, with the education system definitely being thrown into the spotlight, with affirmative action being a thing of the past and legacy admissions still passing on to the new generation in the present, and with everything Florida's doing from bringing back segregated school history sponsored by Bleach and erasing all other diversity quote unquote content and or quote unquote information, honey, and also with school starting soon, there's no better time than in the present to talk about it. So let's talk about it, shall we? What are we talking about? Oh yes, the education system. But child, where to start? I mean, there's 12 years of grade school, there's 4 to 5 years for a bachelor's degree, another 2 for a master's degree, and if you're lucky or even have the funds or knows even have the goddamn time after all that, there's another 4 years for a doctor's degree. Well, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with grade school. Grade school. For me, it was a blur. I mean, all I know is elementary school, it gave me tough skin. Middle school gave me 3 different lives. And high school, it gave me the quote-unquote essentials. Whether it be a diploma, a bunch of questions about myself that I've spent 10 years to, trying to answer that I actually did answer. Thank you, Jesus, or thank goodness, whichever one you prefer. And memories that shape me to this day. Yes. Well, some memories that shape me to this day. I don't know. But yeah, the particulars of these I will talk about in the redo series, believe me, but we're not going to do that now. We're just going to do a gloss over. But yeah, that's pretty much what public school, and believe me, public school is a doozy. Now, private school, if you can afford it, of course, before the voucher applications. Yes, private school, there's only one question that remains when it comes to private school. Is it worth it? Well, the answer to that is pretty much the same for homeschooling. Results may vary. What? Listen, okay, they don't have to administer state tests and they don't have to report student outcomes, so we don't exactly know. And when it comes to charter schools, well, they're kind of like a blend of public and private schools when you think about it. I mean, charter schools are open to the public, but they are private when it comes to its policies, its curriculum content, and its disciplinary and procedures. School choice. Is it segregation under a new name or new form? I don't know. But there is an interesting question that everybody's asking when it comes to school. Where are my tax dollars going to? And what are my tax dollars sponsoring when it comes to my child's education? I don't know. But with that being said, I can definitely say, especially with the last couple of months, the education system has definitely become more subjective than objective, okay? And there are all types of ways to learn the same thing. If you don't believe me, take a flight down to Florida, okay? Because apparently down there, slavery... apparently slavery taught black people, quote unquote, meaningful skills. The LGBTQIA plus community is just like Voldemort. We don't talk about it. We don't address it. We don't know it. And anything having to do with diversity, inclusion, or what they call, quote unquote, being woke. That's just something apparently that has to end. I think there was a great term back in the Jim Crow law years that has something to... Oh, yes. I found it. Separate but unequal. There you go. I mean, and honey, whether it's just certain parts of a course or a complete ban on the quote-unquote course / quote-unquote class in session in form. Whether it's just, whether it's certain parts of a course or complete ban of the quote-unquote class / quote-unquote course in question. One thing is definitely clear. The children are not the future. And indoctrination is truly in the eye of the beholder. Oh no! But I can definitely say this, as a former student, I can say going to school was not easy, okay? Learning new things day after day, dealing with teachers who are beyond stressed due to being underpaid, understaffed, and overworked. Having to deal with other students who are hormone-driven, judgmental, and just as stressed out as you are. And also the many tests nowadays, back then and now, that you had to take in order to move into the next year, despite not needing or having to know most, if not all, of the shit that you were taught in order to function in society. I mean, really, when was the last time anybody has used a sine, a cosine, or a tangent? I don't know why the fuck they made me take trigonometry, but whatever, it was what it was. And of course, that coupled with the anxiety of losing your life with all these mass shootings going on every single school you turn to, from Parkland to Sandy Hook to this one to that one. I mean, I'm pretty sure there'll probably be another one in a couple weeks when school starts back up again, but we're not going to talk about that, okay? Apparently, mass shootings in schools are just as ubiquitous as the amount of debt that you will have by the time you finish all your quote-unquote school and / quote-unquote education. And then that was if that wasn't bad enough, child, then came coronavirus and everything else that came with that, from the virtual classroom, which that was an experience. I'm not sure how kids during 2020 managed to deal with all that. I don't know. From the weird sounds of people's home lives, the quote-unquote ADHD spectrum that was exposed in those classrooms, to the crying and the breakdowns and the interesting question of the quote-unquote no child left behind. Not the law. Oh God, no. That didn't do anything but contribute to the problem we have now. But it more so has to do with the question of how many children are going to be left behind. And also, how long are the children in the U.S. going to be behind in terms of their education in comparison to other kids in other countries? Since, when it came to the whole coronavirus response, we were not exactly being, exceptional in terms of our American response. We were not exceptional. We were not leading the way on that one, no. Well, we were in terms of, hospitalizations, most cases, and of course deaths, but in terms of, doing shit right, we was not leading the way. We kind of let everybody else take the reins on that one. But anyways, we're gonna move past that, okay? But child, Corona, it made everybody go crazy. Kids want us to go back to school just as much as the parents wanted their asses to go back to school too. Okay, they wanted their mornings back, and kids they just wanted to get back to their regular lives. But how to do that safely? Yeah, I don't know. Well, y'all were there. Y'all all saw it. We're in 2023 now. Y'all saw how that shit went. Not well. But them whole mask mandates and standing 6 feet apart, that definitely leads to our next segment, which is, of course, the school board meetings and all the arguments, debates, fights, and in some cases, literal violence that has taken place at these goddamn meetings. I mean, you would think it was a goddamn reality show reunion of a season with these goddamn school board meetings these days. I mean, all kinds of questions being thrown from why does my child have to wear a mask? This is why does my child have to stand 6 feet apart? That to the new ones, which is what is wrong with my child's hairstyle? This to why is that child using the girls' bathroom when quote unquote he is a quote unquote boy, and why does my child hate this country, and also why does my child hate their skin tone now, and why in God's green earth are boys playing in female sports? I don't know, girl. It's so much anger, it's so much fervor going around. Where the fuck was this years ago? Who the hell knows? But grade school education, it has always been a patchwork of inequality or inequity, whichever one you believe is actually beneficial, incompetence, and quote unquote, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yes, indoctrination. Yes, we need to call it what it is. That's exactly what it is, okay? Because U.S. history has and will always be sponsored by Clorox. I'm tired. And nowadays, apparently the FCC, I mean, just look up the long list of, oh wait, is it the FCC or is it by parents? I don't know. I guess the parents are acting like the FCC these days. I mean, just look at the long list of books being banned all across the country. Terms, conditions, exemptions may apply, of course. But the real question is, where do you read these quote-unquote books? I don't know, since apparently libraries are also turning into reality TV show reunions when it comes to this, since apparently protests are just seen outside. They have become the new war zone from the empty shelves due to all the restrictions of every single book known to man that contains quote-unquote sensitive material, i.e. from every single Toni Morrison book that has ever been printed to nowadays the Bible and the Constitution, which interesting. And then of course there's a whole question to who can read to your child, and the protest that followed through with that. I mean, who knew drag queens were such molders of young minds? Who fucking knew? But I have a question. I wonder if people would mind if a gun read to their child, the little AR-15 that could. Anybody no? Who knew? But yeah, that's just grade school. And if you manage to get through all that, then of course there's the aspect of secondary education. Ah, yes. To go to college, whether it be community or otherwise, a university, a trade/vocational school, which one is the best? Well, it really depends on what you want to do with your life, or your major, or majors in some cases, since, you can double major if you have the option. You can change majors if you have the money. You can drop classes if you really got it like that. You can drop out altogether if it just ain't for you. You could add on more courses if you're feeling brave, bold, or you kind of need to make up some shit. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, the U.S. secondary educational system is a true smorgasbord of education. Although the fees, the tuition, the costs, that is anything but a la carte, my dear. Which that leads to the next question. How are you paying for it? Since, Biden ain't doing that shit no more. Since that shit was struck down, I mean, I'm sorry. But come on, did you really think Biden was going to be able to clear $10,000 in debt? And what is $10,000 really going to do, sis? Not a damn thing. So we're gonna move past that. We're gonna move on. So how do you pay for it? Now, in regular times, you will go either for a loan or a scholarship. But a loan, unlike a scholarship, yeah, the money is guaranteed, but you have to make sure you pay it off on time. Not like a credit card debt where you can just, chalk it up to bankruptcy and that's the end of it. Oh no. Student loan debt, that shit follows you to the grave. figuratively and literally. It will look follow you to the grave. And then, of course, there's the whole thing of the loans. You can go for that. But, yeah. Well, not like a loan. We just talk about loan. But there's a thing of scholarships. Yes, there we are. Scholarships. Excuse me. The brain isn't functioning like it used to. There's a thing of scholarships. Yeah, but unlike a loan, not everyone, not any and everybody can apply or is even eligible for more, there's a lot of terms, conditions, limits, probationary periods, things like that. And of course, there's a lot of fine print you have to do and a lot of bureaucracy you gotta go on, but we're gonna move past that. But honey, just like getting a job after you leave college, if you decide to leave, getting into college these days it's not guaranteed. I mean, it was barely guaranteed before, but honey, from letters and recommendations to fees to essays to SATs to ACTs to GPAs. I mean, if you don't got Chat GPT or Grammarly, chat, I don't know what to tell you. And honey, if that wasn't bad enough, now I have to make them literally see me. I guess I just gotta send in a picture since, affirmative action is a thing of the past. What a great win for Asians and white people all around. Oh wait, hold on, they still got legacy emissions. They gonna be all right. Well, and funny enough, all this to end up with just 2 or 3 degrees, selling your soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay. It's a damn shame. What the education systems come to, child. Or basically what it always has been. Oh, shout out to Oliver Anthony's Rich Man North of Richmond song. That song is hot. Okay, I don't care where you stand on the spectrum. I don't care whether you blue collar or whether you white collar. Actually, if you white collar, I want you to feel some type of way about it. Yes, that song is hot, honey. And all that bullshit, that's just in the US now, broad. Where to start with the problems? Women in certain countries, they don't have access to education whatsoever. Uniforms are mandatory, which isn't a bad thing, but honey, in Jamaica, boys, y'all better be careful. And if them pants are too tight, they will send your ass home. That's believe that. Or even if you have certain hairstyles, they'll send your ass home for that too. Who knew? Oh, and contrary to popular belief, schooling is not free everywhere, okay? And some people just cannot afford to send their kids to school. Sorry. Didn't know it was like that. Interesting. And some countries, they just have a basic lack of basic resources in relation to the education system, whether it be textbooks, school supplies, teachers, skilled teachers at that, bus drivers, inadequate facilities. And then in some countries, specifically in my country of Haiti, they force the kids to speak French, even though majority of them only know how to speak Creole. Really just fostering that whole double consciousness thing going on, or as I call it, the impending imposter syndrome. But hey, we're not going to talk about that. And of course, that coupled with the fact that, schools are having to push back their start days left, right, and center because of outbreaks of flu going around. Corona's about to start back up. There are not enough bus drivers, people getting injured, doing this and that. They don't know what the hell they want to do with trans folk nowadays, LGBTQ, everybody quitting, what the hell you want to do, religious things, separation of church and state. I can go on and on and on and on, but well, school's out for the summer. We're not going to talk about that right now. But before I go back to school in roughly a week or two after registering for college to become a therapist, where at, that is to be announced at a later day, a couple things. Number one, when it comes to education, do your research because people can't be trusted. Number two, when it comes to college, university, trade school, do what makes sense. Don't put yourself in debt or in more debt just to learn a bunch of facts for a job that you're not even going to get when you graduate. I mean, Stem had a point. You really want to be learning facts just to work for somebody else and when you have your own business. But then again, owning your own business just ain't what it is either. So I don't know about all that. And number three, there are all types of knowledge that's smart out in this world. See which ones you have, see which ones you need to learn, see which ones you never had, and see which ones you can teach someone else. Pay it forward, inspire the next generation. And if you don't succeed the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, eight, nine, oh hell, who the hell are we kidding? We're gonna stick with five because nobody's got them James Franco. You can't go to fucking college 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But even if you do or have the opportunity or the money to do so, well, Sister Leah, I guess, can you say it for me, please?